Hi, I'm back, and I'm on the hilltop again, and I'm gonna this week. This is Monday. It's a Monday, and this week I will try to cut most of the maybe potentially all of them. I hope possibly. Most of the skinny bamboos, and on this hilltop, and I can only work Monday through Thursday. So, and they are predicting rain tomorrow. So I do not know if I have 4 days or 3 days. But since it's a very sunny, nice day today, so I'm going to put on a lot of hours today, I think. As you can see, I'm gonna step aside. You can. We now have from this hilltop a nice view of far distant mountain range, and it's you can see the roof of my house from here, but my house is is like right down there. Anyway, and today I have enough batteries for the video camera, I think, but I may not have enough. I have like 2 more pairs of backup batteries for the audio system, but it might die at some point, and then it will be a silent video game. But this is for the record, and this is for those who know me to let them know how I am doing, how well. I mean, I'm still healthy and reasonably strong and stuff. So don't complain too much if it's not interesting. Okay. Oh, by the way, when I work with my grad students, I tend to talk a lot about my experiences and as well as all the say lessons I learned through my life and stuff, and they kind of encouraged me to do so on the video. I guess it's for for their entertainment, enjoyment, and not necessarily it's for the consumption, but for consumption by the general public. But anyway, I may do that. All right. So there'll be a lot of asides, digressions today. All right. I'm gonna go. I have all my equipments. Let me put down my iPhone. I mean my Android smartphone. I have my all reliable trimmer, grass trimmer. I have my hedge trimmer. I have my handsaw and scissors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this hilltop. This hilltop is. I should have brought in a rough, a diagram of this hilltop and showed it to you. But it's kind of wider to the north. Oh, this way is north, and if you go north, after a few yards, like 5-6 yards, 5-6 meters to the north is the border, okay, of my premise. So I'm gonna cut this part first, but after that, this hilltop is narrowing down. You see, it's not quite triangular, but it's narrowing down. It's in a way it's like 2 trapezoids put together or something like that. It's shaped like that. I'm gonna bring in a handwritten maybe diagram next time, and I'll show you. So I have a good chance of getting it done. All right, and this week my focus is to do a rough job of cutting all these grasses and removing only some of the necessary branches. And so if I work like that, I think, as I just said, I think I'll have a good chance of cutting these at least these skinny bamboos. And I'm rushing because I like to plant, you know, some trees and some seeds on top of this hill. This is very sunny. After I cut the grasses and cut some trees, you'll see how sunny it is. This is a perfect place for some of the, sun-loving trees. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get going. Let's see. So to capture my activities, let's see. Again, I can monitor. All right, so this is, I think it's perhaps good enough. It's not. All right, I'm gonna get going. The battery is still fine, and okay, I'm ready to go. Sorry, I have to carefully monitor what I am shooting, the shooting angle and all that. Okay, so let's get going. And before the audio system goes down, I hope I can explain enough of what I am doing, so even the silent portion would be interesting, at least for my students. All right. So today I'm not going to carry, all the cut grasses and so on to I'm not going to remove them from this hilltop as I've been doing. I just create some mounds of grasses and branches, and leave them here. I mean, on the hilltop, and work more efficiently like that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to have to remove the grasses I just cut. The difficulty with these skinny bamboos is that they, unlike more, softer, say, grasses, these guys tend to clog the blade, and you'll have to, from time to time, you'll have to stop and remove the stems. All right, but I gave it a good cut, and again, it may be a rough job, but this is good enough. This is like in research, you have to get your priorities straight, like when I think people are good at different types of research, but I tend to, I'm very persistent, and I don't get discouraged easily. So I'm good at applying a brute force method. In other words, some method that will generate a result. If you keep applying that method, you see, keep doing that thing. So oftentimes what happens to me is that because many people are discouraged when they see a potentially lengthy proof, say, for example, not like a pretty proof, but not pretty ugly and lengthy proof, but I don't mind doing like, attacking a problem using brute force, lengthy, not pretty methods. And people who are into beautiful proofs and stuff, compared with them, because of my, I want to call it courage, but maybe those who are good at, coming up with beautiful proofs, more streamlined and stuff, perhaps they feel that my method is not beautiful, and they may not like my math. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that because if I can see, one way to attack a problem, I just start doing it and keep doing. And since I'm dumb, I guess, I don't mind that much if it's not beautiful. And because of that, often, you see, I am not, oftentimes I am the first to prove something. As I just said, that's simply because many people, they get discouraged, but I just, while they are looking for a prettier, or easier way to do it, I'll just plunge in and do it. So oftentimes I'm the first to prove something, and then people look at it, and do you know what happened? For many of those propositions, in other words, conjectures, before they are proved, or assumptions, whatever you call them. For many of them, it's not necessarily very clear whether they are those propositions or assumptions or hypotheses, if they are indeed true. Like take the famous Fermat's last theorem as an example. You see, well, many people are convinced it will be true, but the thing is, unless you actually prove it, you're not sure if it's true. So what I was trying to say is that was that because even by an ugly brute force method, since I get it done and I show to them, it is, a certain theorem, for example, is actually true. In other words, certain conjecture assumption is actually true. It holds. Then, encouraged by the fact that it is indeed true, they start, looking for better ways to prove it. Now that they know it's true, so they are more willing, more willing to attack that problem. So often my contribution comes not from the fact that I show a pretty proof, but from the fact that I'm the first, however ugly, the proof is. I'm the first to prove it, and and encourage others to come up with a better proof, something like that. Much smarter people can come up with better proofs later, but I prove it once to encourage. It's important, I think. Dumb people like me, I'm not dumb, but I'm not that smart. Our contribution is probably like labor, putting in a lot of time and showing to the people that to others, especially the smart people, that it can be done. Okay, now am I just about done? Okay. So this is how much I just cut, and of course it's not pretty today because my priority is to keep cutting. And by the way, the edge of the cliff is like around here. You see, already it's narrowing down. The edge is there, and then that's here. Anyway, so let's get going again. Cut some more grass, and okay. So in the end, continuing on the previous story, in the end, it's okay. It's a even dumb people can make by simply working hard and putting in a lot of hours, can make some reasonable contributions. And people like me, I want to call myself a trailblazer or frontier, because I attack the problem, you see. But okay, so I may be trailblazer, but you know, those people who come behind me, so to speak. Okay, I'm not that great. I'm not a leader or anything, but they come up with a much better proof, and they become like trendsetters, because if there is a prettier proof, that would be the trend. Of course, I have no complaints about it. I myself, when people come up with a, you know, with a prettier proof, I myself use that method. And by the way, say I can call myself a frontier or trailblazer. Say, you see, many people don't regard me like that. It's just, you know, this dumb guy who thinks he's a trailblazer, but typically who gets more credit, or who are regarded more highly? What do you think, trailblazers or trendsetters? Of course, trendsetters. That's why they set the trend, you know. So it's kind of it may be discouraging to some people, but since I know I'm dumb and you know, I'm not discouraged at all by that, except that I'm still envious of those with, you know, good talent. I wish I could be a trendsetter myself. Let's see. So can you see me? I think you can. Okay, so most people are, humans are dumb, you know, most people are dumb, so don't be discouraged if you are dumb. A dumb old man like this is actually doing fairly well. And by the way, in terms of personal sense of achievement and happiness, I have no problem with it. I'm very happy. As I said, I am indeed envious of the talented people, but you know, look, most people aren't talented. Here's one reason why humans are, one example of how dumb humans are. Well, let's see. Let me change the. Let me check the camera angle. Let's see. Oops. Here we go. Oh. It's not working. Here we go. So next I'd like to, let's see, yeah, I'd better change the camera angle, camera position actually. Let me see if I can move it over here. And excuse me. I'm gonna change the view, the scope of the camera. Yeah, I think this is much better. Okay, this is better because you don't need to see the detail of my, of my action or anything like that. So this is good. So now it covers. Okay. How about the audio? Yes, it's still working. I'm very nervous about the audio of late. Remember a couple of days ago I lost audio so often and so easily. That's even before the battery died, so I still don't understand, don't know why. Okay, so let's correct the skinny bundles I just cut, and I was saying humans are dumb, and one example, here is one example. Einstein, right? Of course smart. The guy is, compared with a dumb guy like me, he's like, I'm saying like God. But is he God? Not really. What it is that, like his theory of relativity, whether special relativity or general relativity, that's his greatness was the fact that he came up with it. He came up with that idea or proof, whatever, for the first time, and the rest of us humans benefited from it a lot. There is no doubt about that. That is true. But as true as it is, he is not God, and the reason, as I just said, by the way, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything. Compared with me, you see, I'm like a worm, a little insect or something, or a germ, and he's a superhuman. But the fact is that his theory of relativity, for example, if he is God, here's how I feel. We shouldn't be able to easily, understand his theory because he's God. Like God's deed, us mortals, we mortals cannot. I don't believe in God, but never mind. If God existed, say, then we mortals shouldn't be able to understand God's deeds so easily, correct? But speaking of relativity, theory of relativity, now it's taught to even undergraduate students in physics, and the reason is simply because they can understand it, and that's in a way that's ludicrous. I mean, what I mean is he had to work so hard and put in days or years, whatever, of work to come up with the theory of relativity, and now it can be understood. Once the theory is established, it can be understood even by undergraduate students. So that's why he is not God. It's God's deed. As I said, I don't believe God, but if God existed, say, and if it is God's believe, I don't think we should be able to understand it. So, even the greatest, the smartest of the humans are actually fairly dumb. It's just that, compared with a dumb guy like me, astronomically smarter he is. Okay, now, let's see. Some more. But I think it's important to be modest in the sense that you understand, being a human, you're pretty dumb. There are so many people who couldn't even prove or measure, by observe and decide if a certain thing is right. But those people, they just say something like, "That's what I believe," So it's almost like they are saying, since they believe so and so, that's right. What? You can believe anything you like in a way, see? But believing something doesn't make it right. You can believe the earth is flat if you want to. You can believe so. I don't, but so what? Flat? No way. For the same reason, by the way, you can believe God if you like. That's fine. It's a guaranteed human right, one of the guaranteed human rights, guaranteed by Constitution, isn't it? But just because you believe it, it doesn't mean it exists. Some people say it's only in my mind, and so on. Okay, fine. Then those people's existence, definition of existence is different from mine. Mine is more objective, like so. According to my more scientific definition of existence, it has to be measurable, observable by anyone with the proper equipment, including, by the way, human eyes, but not like your imagination. Okay. I know this is controversial. It doesn't, I already said you have the right to believe God. Okay, so that's fine. I don't, but that's fine too. Correct? What the hell is this? I'm gonna I'm so near the edge of the cliff. Oh, I hope the audio, I heard some noise through my earpiece, but no. I'm sorry, my earpiece is turned off, so I guess it was some bird or animal that made the noise. Anyway, okay. So I'm gonna pile them up here, like so, and when and if I get a shredder blade, I can shred all these into pieces. Now, let's see. Anyway, if you can't be you can't be a trendsetter, coming up with pretty, fancy footwork and pretty techniques, that people just admire in awe or something. Then at least you can, by working hard and long, you can do something that no one else has done, or not too many people has done. That's just fine. Okay. So wow, it's getting very sunny here. And now let's see. Maybe I should. Yeah. What's happening? What's happening to this tree? Maybe at least I should cut this branch. Okay. I'm gonna cut the branch. Oops, turn it on. Okay. Let me remove these trees in my way. Turn it off. Yeah. You have to make a habit of turning it off. Stopping short of removing the battery, but at least if you turn off the main power, bad things are not going to happen. Let's see, these branches, what should I do with these branches? I'm going to dump them. Oops. Dump them here. Yeah, which makes it slightly more difficult to walk by, but that's fine. Okay, let's see. So, more branches. Okay, let me keep cutting. I'm getting hot. It's a warm day for January. Let's see. So, did I cut this guy? Is this guy cut? now I should be nervous, I think, because I'm so close to the edge of the cliff. Alright. It's hot. Let's see if the audio is still working. Yes, it's working. God, it's warm. I'm going to have to phew. I forgot to turn it off. Okay, now it's off. Whew. You may hear some noise as I take off this windbreaker. I don't think the audio is working well now because my mic is here. Let me just take off this. Underneath, I only have a t-shirt. That would be fine. Phew. This was too much for today. It's a warm day. But I still need to wear this yellow jacket, which is a shame. For protection, I need to I need to, if the sun is picking up, I just said I need to wear this yellow jacket for protection, which is a shame. I'm going to take a short break. I'm so hot. Excuse me. While I remain silent, I'll keep walking. You know. I read about it in physics today. Even though physics today is of course it's an academic, it's not a journal publication. They don't lie, about facts. I know the video has been soundless, but I haven't been talking whatsoever, and I'm still hot, but it's about time to start cutting some more. So I'm gonna have to put on this protective jacket. Let's see. So as I said, you know, if you go north just a bit, you know, 5-6 meters, 6-7 yards, then it'll be the border. So I don't have that much more to cut. Let me go and check, where the border peg, actually it was a stone, border stone was. I'll be right back. I'm so hot, but it's time to wear a protective jacket. This is, look, I don't know if you can see it, but I injured myself right here, and this is the reason why I have to wear this protective jacket. Let's see. And the audio is still working, which is good, and right, so now I have my microphone on. Okay, I think you can hear me now, and I'm going to swing the camera just a bit, and I decided to cut this area near the border stone first, so I'll have a good idea of where the border is. I think I told you before, but from the border stone, if you go more or less straight to the east, this is east. That's a border line. Okay, so I am going to wear this protective apron again, and okay, this is this is a good reason to wear this kind of protective clothing. I already injured myself. This is nothing, but still it's bleeding. Well, it's okay. It's a blood clot now, so it's no longer bleeding. But this is dangerous. It doesn't hurt. Let's see the camera angle. I'm gonna have to check it again. I think. Let's see. I think this angle is good enough. Well, let's see. So I'll start cutting from around here. I'm in the picture, and I will keep cutting until like I reach. This is a pine tree, if you can't tell. To around here to this tree, I guess. All right. Is the audio still working? It's threatening to, okay, it's still working. As soon as the pilot lamp turns red, I'll insert. I'll go to a new set of batteries. Okay, this is good. Here we go. So okay. Now cut. So I'm gonna cut this area. This area is very difficult to, because of a huge bamboo tree, and also there are quite a few trees. This one I think I'll cut, but I'm not going to cut like these guys. So it's gonna be this one. I can cut this. For now I'm gonna leave it here. So let's see. Let's get going and cut some more. Turn it on. Here we go. Whoops. Yeah. I hit a big tree trunk by mistake. Yeah, I'm having difficulty maneuvering around. Okay, I'm gonna cut this guy here. Yeah, this is dead anyway. Okay, let's stop here. Well, maybe you couldn't see my action. You were seeing my back, I guess, but safety is more important. So I didn't want to, I wanted to plant my legs properly. That's why you only saw my back and my hip and stuff. Okay, so this guy has been. This is dead, by the way. So it's not, it's not a bad thing to cut this tree, but okay, let me put it here. Yeah. Okay, this is indeed dead. And let me remove some of the skinny bamboos I just cut. Oh, I didn't cut this. Wow. I failed to cut these. Wow. I thought I cut more, but I cut so little. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I had to be very careful, so I wasn't able to cut that many, but that's fine. I have some here. And this one is cut. How about these guys? Oh, these guys are not cut. It was kind of difficult to maneuver around, so I wasn't able to cut that much. Okay. So let's see. I'm trying to make it easier to cut more. Okay, so like this one is so close to the, it's being cut. Nice. But this hasn't been. This one is still here. Where's the camera? I guess you can't see. My next goal is to cut this area to have an easier access to behind this pine tree, to the area behind the pine tree. I was just tapping and okay. And right. So, as usual, I am doing a good job of persisting. You see, this is not a very interesting job. The job itself is not interesting, except that, I think I told you before, the more I do, the more time and effort I put in, the more visible result I generate. So in that sense, this is good. So around here, I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut these two, and I need to remove some of these tree trunks, fallen tree trunks, I think. So I declare to do a rough job, but with these tree trunks, I can't do a rough job. I have to do a complete job of removing these guys. How about this guy here? Maybe I can just break it. I don't know. Let me just pull it and see. Okay. Yeah, this is another dead pine tree. I don't know why the guy is dead, but the guy is dead. Up. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Let me cut this area and oh, all right, let's do it. First, I'm going to clear this area. Okay. God, it's warm. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's see. This one also. It's cut. All right, let's remove these guys and see how good the job of clearing this area I did. Turn off the trimmer. One of the teachers, who taught me how to use these power equipments, they said in day one, I'm past day one, but those teachers said at least on day one or in the first week, they wanted me to remove, the batteries, not just turn off the power, but remove the batteries and make it absolutely sure this thing, the trimmer will not go on, become active all of a sudden. But I think, as I said, I'm past that stage, so turning off the power is good enough for now. Okay. Nice. Now this area is clear. Now this area is nice and clear, and I can now see what else needs to be done. And I can also see where the border peg is. Well, I can't see it, but I can see the path by the border peg. So now I have a good idea of where the border of my premise is. My property is. Here we go. And it's yes, I'm doing a good job. It's becoming very clear. Area is I failed to cut this guy. Okay, there is one left over. I thought I did a complete job of cutting all the skinny bamboos in the way, but there was one more left here. I even cut this tree, and how come I failed to cut a skinny bamboo right by the tree I cut? Okay, now some more here. You know, these guys, these skinny bamboos, they are so tall. Some of them are like 4 meters tall or something. So that makes it kind of difficult to bunch them together and carry them. Let's see. Is that it? That is okay. This is just about it. How about this one? Isn't this dead? Is this still alive? Even if this pine tree, this guy were alive, the way it's very crooked, and I'd rather cut this guy. And let's Let's see. So I think for now I'm going to leave this pine tree here, and I'll try to cut some more thin bamboos. Okay, let's see. So where is where is the border stone? Border stone is the border stone is, I don't know if you can see it. The border stone is here. So I should go like so up to that. Okay, I need to cut some more. With all these trees growing, it's not as easy a job as I thought it was. You know, like I remember at the beginning of the day, I was talking about doing a rough job and making a good progress, you know, of clearing the hilltop. It may not be as simple. Okay, now the power is on, and let's see. There were a couple I wanted to cut. So let's see. I'm moving yay close to the border stone, and that is it's okay. There's a live pine tree which is growing almost horizontally. I don't know why this guy is growing like this, but it is. So I'm getting very close to the border now. I'm looking for the border. Yes, I now see the border stone. So it's up to around this area. Okay, so if these were just these, skinny bamboo trees, and there aren't, if there weren't fallen trees and including big tree trunks and relatively big fallen branches and stuff, then it will be much easier to clear the space here, but it's it's not that simple a job. Let's see. Okay, I cut all these guys here. Phew. It was like a whip that hit my nose. A twig, flexible twig, acted like a whip. Or did I? Yeah, it is off. Let's see. So I am going to okay. So this time I did a better job of cutting all the unnecessary skinny bamboos. This I wasn't able to cut, and okay. Yeah. I don't think you can see the pile. I'll show you the pile of cut grasses and trees when I'm done with this area, but now I've done quite a lot, and this is what I mean, by the way, when I keep saying like the result is visible. Okay, some more. Oh, I think there was a wild rose here, but it's being cut.体調を崩さなかったんですが、怪我をしてしまいまして、いや、生まれて初めて。Okay, so I guess I just talked to myself in Japanese, maybe. Oh, speaking of Japanese and English, you may be wondering why Japanese people's English speaking ability is just so poor. Being a Japanese who struggled to learn to become proficient in English, it's no surprise to me that English is so difficult for native speakers of Japanese, because starting with the word order, English is so different from Japanese. And for example, in English we have prepositions, so you say prepositions, right? So you say, I go to school, right? But in Japanese, what corresponds to is like a postposition. In other words, school is, in Japanese, you basically have to say, I school to go. You see, so the word order is messed up, and in English, when you say to go, it means it can mean a noun form of go, like going. To go is not easy. Like going there is not easy. To go there is not easy, and so on. Or it might mean in order to go, you need to save up a lot of money to say go to travel around the world, or to go to the United States. You see, that kind of to go. But here, to is acting like a preposition, like to school, and our word order is school too. And also, as I just said, I go to school in Japanese becomes I school to go. So, and the verb comes at the very end. Why? I don't know. I don't even know which one's more convenient. And also there are other things like inflection of verbs, that we don't have in Japanese. In other words, you say, I go, you go, we go, and then he goes, she goes, it goes, right? They go. So like it's either go or goes. You have to change it, unless you don't want to. You want to sound like an idiot or something, uneducated person maybe. So you have to change the ending of the verb. I mean, you have to add an s or es. Go, goes, come, comes, and so on. We don't have that. So we say, I go, we go, you go, he go, she go, it go. So something like that is difficult. And even, some, in a way, cultural things, makes it difficult. Like, we have a Japanese equivalent of he and also she. We do. He is like kare and she is kanojo. We have them. But we don't use those words as often. Oftentimes we just simply say that person, Yeah, in a way we are, even though Japan is notorious for, male chauvinism maybe, but as far as this aspect is concerned, Japanese language is more gender neutral, because we don't use he and he or she that often. So you see, all those differences, subtle differences make it very difficult. Like when you're a native speaker of German and French, stuff like that, I would not quite say all you have to do is to learn French words and German words, and then you can speak them. It's not quite like that, but nevertheless, there are quite a few similarities. I have no knowledge of French. I mean, literally no knowledge. But I learned some German. It's not like I can speak it, but I learned some German. And when like learning German after I learned English, I had learned English. It was very, in a sense, very easy. I still remember the word. For example, etbus. Etbus means something. et or ete, be, s, etwas, etwas means something. And when you learn the English word something, and you learn how it's used and stuff, you had to be explained, all the features of something, English word something, and how it can be used. Of course, it means something is wrong, that kind of something, but also you can say like something to drink and so on, right? And so all those things, all the features of the word something had to be explained to us by the teacher, or we had to learn it from books. But when I was learning German, when the teacher taught us, or when we encountered the word etwas, the teacher just simply said, "Oh, it's something, English something," and okay, we understood almost everything about etwas. You see, like something to drink, etwas zu trinken. Wow, it's the same thing. So anyway, the most difficult thing is. One of the reasons, clear reasons, is what they call the linguistic distance, which is the same as linguistic difference. That's one clear reason. But also, what makes it so difficult is for Japanese speakers, or Japanese kids, to learn English is that you don't need English, or you don't encounter English in your daily lives. Nowadays you do so more often, but like when I was a kid, you really don't encounter English. You don't even see, in those days, by the way, you don't even see international visitors in Japan. Not that many international visitors. So because of that, they really don't, well, two things. They don't get exposed to English, and also they don't need it. They don't need the language. Someone told me, correct me, someone, if I'm wrong, but someone said, like in Holland, the Netherlands, many of the favorite kids or adults also, I guess, many of their favorite TV programs are aired in English. In other words, I guess they buy the right to air it, and they don't bother to translate it into Dutch. And still people understand it. Well, the reason is twofold, right? I mean, number one, they are already proficient in English, so there isn't that much need to translate. But, at the same time, though, even little kids who may not be proficient in English, they become proficient because they want to watch those, programs and understand, correct? So, as I just said, in Japan, at least up until recent years, it was not necessary to speak English at all, and you can be very happy. You can lead a very happy life without speaking English at all, and there is no English program on TV. And nowadays there are some. But so people didn't feel that it was necessary or it was good to be able to understand English or communicate in English. But nowadays we are paying the price. I think as a nation. And by the way, there is another reason. These reasons are all intertwined with each other. They are related closely. But even Japanese teachers, Japanese English teachers, English teachers in Japan who are native speakers of Japanese, their proficiency level in English is very low. In Japan, I'm not sure if this is this kind of phenomenon is Oops, excuse me, something got in my shoe. It is a worldwide thing, but in Japan, even English teachers are not, proficient in English, and in Japan, in high school, you are divided. Oh, you can choose it. It's not like the school authority or the government does it, but you can choose either a science stream, what they call science stream, or humanities stream, humanities and social sciences stream. So, if you are in the humanities stream, humanities and social sciences stream, you would assume those people are, because they are in the the education has more focus on humanities and social studies. You might think their language skills would be better, but what's happening in Japan is, I'm just stating facts, okay? Actual phenomenon, what's happening in Japan, and I'm not making any judgment as to whether humanities are more variable or sciences, natural sciences are more variable. I'm a natural science person, so if you ask me which one do I like better, then I would say natural sciences. But it doesn't mean natural sciences are superior. But anyway, I can make many enemies or I can annoy many people, but it is true. It's a fact. In Japan, in high school, when you are divided into, again, it's your choice, the science stream and the humanities and social studies stream, there is a clear tendency for those who are academically strong, not necessarily those who are better at sciences. Just generally speaking, people who are doing academically better, they tend to they have a strong tendency to choose the science stream. So even like in many good high schools, even at that level, people in the science stream, they have better scores in not only math and sciences, but also in like Japanese. When I say Japanese, I mean Japanese for the native speakers of Japanese. It's like English classes for native in the U.S. for native speakers, and so even people in the science stream, they tend to score. They tend to do better even in Japanese and English and many humanities and social sciences subjects, especially in humanities. Their language skills, including English skill, is fairly high. So anyway, and needless to say, those who become English teachers, they're in high school. It's most likely that they are in high school in the humanities and social science stream. So from the beginning, they were not that good at. I don't want to put it this way, but not good at studying. So, needless to say, if you're like that, your English is not that good either. And another thing is, in sciences, papers, right? Academic papers, almost 100%. I once saw a survey that said like more than 95% of academic papers are published in English, but I'd say, those published in other languages other than English, they are, not all of them, but generally speaking, they are not worth reading. So in that sense, almost 100% of the papers are published in English. So there is a strong motivation for science majors to learn English. So anyway. Where is the border? Where is the border stone? So anyway, for many reasons like that, Japanese people's English skills leaves so much to be desired, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, I wasn't like that, but most people go to college to land a good job, right? And most people want to work for a company, profit-seeking operation. That's what they want to engage in. Then, understanding, knowing that English is so important, you would think they would study English, harder, but not necessarily so. I blame that partially on the businesses. They don't require strong English skills. At any rate, to me, by the way, personally to me, the difficulty I have with English is almost exclusively because of the differences between English and Japanese. There was a famous, I forgot, if I remember correctly, her name is Eleanor Jordan, and she was teaching Japanese at one of the highly regarded schools. I've forgotten whether it was Cornell or Yale, or it's one of those schools. Anyway, not Princeton, I know that much. And this guy, I believe her name was Eleanor Jordan. She was teaching Japanese, and the first thing she tells her students was, so I heard, I don't have a first-hand experience because I didn't need to take Japanese. Also, I never studied at either Cornell or Yale. I did study, however, speaking of an IB school. Speaking of IB schools, I did study at Princeton University, and I loved the environment. For those who know who it is, I took quantum mechanics from Edward Witten. That was quite something. And I'm not saying I was one of his students, right? I'm just saying I took his class. See, if you're a grad student, you can take any class you like. Okay. Anyway. So this, I'm sorry, Eleanor Jordan said, what she used to say to her students in the first class was that Japanese is not hard French. By that, what he means is exactly what I just said. The difference is linguistic distance, Japanese is hard, but it's not hard French, it's not hard German. So, you need to approach it. If you want to become proficient, you need to approach it with some resolve, with determination. That's what she tried to, that's the message she tried to convey to her students. Okay, so much for that. I have a lot to say about this though, by the way, like English teachers not being able to, communicate in English themselves. So they don't even have a well-established, teaching or learning method. Or they might say they have one, but you see, I'm talking about ones which are based on like biology and brain science and I'm talking about good methods based on basic human nature or human ability. Anyway, and since there is a book, I wrote a book. I'm an outsider. I'm not a eventually I became one as well. In addition to math, I also did another degree in second language acquisition. But I'm not an English teacher. But I wrote a book on how to learn and teach English. That's ludicrous, right? Yeah, I felt so. I was at the time I was working for a place called International Center, and okay, they told me to write a book. They told me means they requested me to write a book. I complied. Okay, so much for that. Now I'm forgetting to check the audio, and I'm very nervous. Is the audio still there? I talked so much without checking the audio. I'm gonna go and check the audio now. Let's see. My audio, please be still. Yes, it's still blue. Great. I mean, the pilot lamp is blue, which is a good sign. It's still working. No. Okay, the stone is there. Wow. Okay, so now let's see. Where is the Where is the border? Here's the border marker. So I need to cut it some more. Okay, I think these must be leftovers from the first day when I was trying to clear the path, not the entire hilltop, but the path. Oh yeah, good old days. That's before I found the last border peg. Okay, so let's see. Around here.